Hi guys. Can everyone hear me so far that's on? I can't hear anybody. Everyone can hear me so far, correct? Perfect.
I can hear you.
How's everyone's Monday going? Perfect. So what I'm doing is I'm going to just do, I'm not going to go, I don't want to overwhelm everyone with information, but I really want to focus on getting this month going and hitting your goals, and then answer any questions anyone has, and also just go over some social media training because I think that's going to be really, really important on like attraction marketing aspect of things. And then talking about burn a little bit because we're limited on information that's getting released in the morning. They sent out a schedule. I'm pretty sure you guys saw Megan have some stuff on it. So we're just getting prepared for that. Yeah. I hope everyone's having a good day. I'm gonna unmute certain people or mute everyone, and then if you have a question or you want to say something or ask something, if you're on your phone, there's a little like a wave button that you can lift. And if not, you can click it in the chat that's on the side and do it too, and like wave so I know that you guys have a question, and then there's a chat too. So I want everyone to be as involved as possible and make sure you're asking questions and things like that. But first off, I'm just myself. I don't know. I think everyone's from our direct team. I had invited some of Megan's team, but I don't know if they got the info yet. So before getting going, while everyone's hopping on, what questions do you guys have? I'm going to mute everyone, and like I said, just wave it or put it in the chat that you have a question. Here. That's where you'll comment. If you guys have a question, make sure you write them. Usually I'm a little bit more prepared, but I've been really busy today as far as like what I want to go over and things like that. So my biggest thing and stuff that I've been looking at everyone's social media is I really want to focus on attraction marketing and the aspect of what that is and how that really entails, because that's what sets us apart as a tribe and what sets our team apart from other MLM companies and things like that. Is I really teach my girls not to cold message, and cold messages is where you get like a message that you never even talked to the person before, or never even, like, let's say someone doesn't even look at my profile and they just message me about being, trying a product or whatever it may be. I don't want that to be based off of how our team is ran. And so that's something that I'm really, really big on. I want people to come to you by who you are as a person and what you're casting out. And that really comes down to finding out who you are and what represents you as a person. Those are like my key things that I tell all the girls that start is I don't want you guys to sound like a sales ad on your post. I want you guys to sound like you, and stepping outside of your comfort zone and finding what portrays you as a brand. And when I mean brand, I'm not saying like you're but you are supposed to cast out almost like a bloggish appearance on something that you represents you. So you're a mom, you're a student, you're, used to work full-time in corporate America, whatever it may be, and you're still working or whatever it may be. Portray your everyday life through your post, almost as if you're writing a blog. That is like the key that I can say that's really set my business apart. And a lot of you guys know I was part of, and I'm not bashing, I'm going to mute you guys, but a lot of you guys know that I was with my previous company for 2 years, and there's the differences, like you get like pop-up, like how I used to post like a couple years ago versus how I post now. We all grow and we all like change as far as how involved as far as how we post. So I don't want anyone to feel like there's a right or wrong way. There's not. There's just learning as you go and just doing it, being consistent with it. I rather someone have more of a sales tactic post than no post at all, if that makes sense. Because we're a networking marketing company. Our vision and what we're supposed to do is to help other people feel their best from the inside out. And our product is 1,000% the best in the industry when it comes to premium nutrition and just helping people. And my customers, we have a 95 retention rate. And not just that, our products will sell themselves. You don't have to sell and I'm not saying you don't have to sell the product, but I'm saying that once you get it into somebody's hand, it will talk for itself because people see how amazing it is once they experience it. So that is where I'm saying the retention rate comes from. But it's the bridge that gets you from having someone come to you and getting that deal sealed. And I think that's where some people struggle. And I still struggle with it when it comes to customers. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm very good when it comes to getting promoters. And I'm very good when it comes to making sure I have my team growing and that they're getting motivated and being duplicable. You guys are letting your VIPs, things of that nature. But when it comes to customers, I'm good. I'm consistent. But like, over like $2,000 in sales on my, or like $1,000 in sales when it comes to customers, I still struggle there. So there's tips that I'm learning, that I'm gathering and growing in, and it comes down to being confident. Like when I started, I didn't have my pack either. When I started, I hadn't even tried the product, let alone like had even an idea. So Megan had sent me some sample packs that I bought, and I got it like around the same time I had started. And all I started doing when I first started with with Lavelle 4 months ago, I decided I wanted to just portray me. So what represents you? Like there's a couple girls, every time someone signs up, I always tell them to do an introductory post, do something that causes anticipation and curiosity, and bridge that for the remaining of that passion, that fire that you put into those posts. You need to do that throughout the whole entire, this is something you should be passionate about, not stressed out about, not, anything of that nature. This is something that can change your life, and you get to help others do the same. So I really, if you see me post, I'm really focused on, my thing is I love people believing in themselves. And I mean, you guys, I used to be 200 pounds and now I'm like 130, so I've been on both sides of confidence level there. So I get when it's it comes down to what you allow your mind to think is what you become. And so that is why I'm so passionate about making sure you guys understand what you truly are capable of when you switch your thought process. Straight up, the minute you allow yourself to think that you can't get customers for the day, you're not going to get a customer a day because you're casting that out. If you feel like you can't get promoters, you're not going to get them because that's what you're casting out. And even me, that's something I work on a daily, making sure when I get a negative thought in my mind, whether it line up with my goals or my personal life or whatever, maybe switching it and capturing that thought and turning it into a positive, because I want to cast out what I want in my life. I want to portray what I want in my life. I want to be the leader that I'm supposed to be. And so if you guys if I don't respond right away to you guys, it's not that I'm ignoring you or anything like that. I am working hard too, and I want you guys to work hard, and that's where the chats come in. That's where your training videos come in. We all have the same resources in even if you're in your first 2 weeks or your first 60 days, whatever it may be. We all have the same resources. I'm no different than you guys. What I did differently was I just really plugged in. And Roxy, I'll answer your question right now. I really plugged in and I really made sure I utilized the training videos and just started grinding from day one. VIPs start the first 2 weeks from when you purchase your pack. So if you're not grinding to get to those pack, your VIPs, and you don't hit them, that's okay. But in your first 2 weeks, you guys, that's where you really, really want to focus on. And I'll go over the VIPs right now. Let me just unmute Roxy and have her ask her question. Okay, Roxy, what's your question, hun? Can you hear me? Maybe she didn't mean to put that. If you have a question, just put it in the chat too. I'll mute you again, Roxy. If you have a question, if it was really a question, just raise your hand again. Okay. So far, does anyone have any questions? I need to unmute you guys. I know it's going to be. Does anyone have any questions?
Our product base vaccines because I have a lot of
Hang on one second. I'm going to go one second. Okay. Sorry, I can hear you now.
Okay. I was asking if the products are like, I know they need to go to their doctor, but has like anyone taken them while pregnant?
Yes. So a lot of you guys know.
Or like breastfeeding?
Oh yeah. So yeah, any type of medical situation, I always recommend them refer to the doctor, and then I'll send them the ingredients. The ingredients are going to be underneath if you go to your Cloud office and you click Thrive at the top, there's each product line. It'll have a product info where it lists the ingredients too. Great, like little screen out of all the ingredients there. I was approved before my whole surgery and everything. I was approved to get for the first trimester to do the shakes, and second trimester and third trimester I was approved to take all three. So it just depends on your doctor. I have a rare blood type, and I have a lot of like high risk pregnancy stuff. But at the end of the day, it's just because of the energy and stuff that it can give you. I have a lot of pregnant moms that are breastfeeding and pregnant that take all three steps. So it just really depends on what you're comfortable with, what the person's comfortable with. Shakes are no harm at all. They're literally full of nutrients and enzymes and protein. If anything, they're very good for like a mom to get their nutrients filled on top of what they're lacking. So I never have had an issue with that. The capsules are a little bit different just because they do provide you more of energy, and it has like B12 and stuff in it. So that I try to steer away from. I really just I tell my customers, I prefer you getting it looked over with your doctor or just emailing your doctor. I have a lot of doctors that you can email like your ingredients over to. They have like a company portal or something, and then they can correspond back and forth that way instead of having to make a doctor's appointment and go through that whole process. So, but if they're comfortable going for it, then I personally was approved, and I know a lot of moms on our team. Like Jennifer Dupre, she is one of our 80Ks. She's pregnant currently. Rachel on our team's pregnant currently. So there's a lot of moms that take our stuff that have been approved too. And then I'm gonna mute you now unless you have another question, hun.
Yeah, I have one more. Because I haven't taken the products yet, so I don't have like result photos. Where do I just ask you guys on Messenger to post like result photos? And
I know a lot of you guys are brand new, and some of you guys haven't got the packs and stuff, which is totally fine. I'm gonna mute you real quick too. But that is, guys, if you don't have your packs, don't let that discourage you. I am here for anything you need, day or night. I'm usually at. So what I always do is I just reach out in the chat, or I reach out to me, like my upline. What I did at the beginning, I would just reach out to my upline. Hey, do you have this type of post, or do you have this type of product? And I have a lot of girls on my team that will screenshot me their posts before they send them, just to like, especially for your first like 2 weeks to 30 days, just till you get comfortable. There's some people that don't need any help with posting. That's fine. But I rather you utilize me as much as you can than not utilize me at all. The more people that are interactive and proactive with the team and the chats and the training, the further you'll go, because you're getting the resources and that fire that you need. But VIPs, for some of you guys that aren't aware, that's 2 customers, 2 promoters, and then 800 in volume. For example, with the $400 and the $800 pack right now, you guys, those are double volume. So when people are asking about the products and they're getting recommendations on, like, I always ask, what are your goals? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? Like, whether it be, hey, I need to lose weight, or I need energy. I just saw that there's comments in there. Or I have squirrel syndrome, guys, don't mind me. But like, if I always make sure I'm formulating everything to them, instead of being like, well, this is what I've experienced, or I always focus on them first and their needs first. And if you're reaching out to people and messaging people, and I'll go in this in just a second, but if you're at that point where you're reaching out and messaging people, I try to converse depending on how the conversation, if they messaged you first, I converse first back and forth and just kind of oh, how's your day going? Or how was your weekend? Have you had any exciting plans? I try to build a little bit of rapport before I just jump in and start talking about products. Like that, I want to have a relationship where I understand like what they're trying to accomplish or their motivation. And then I don't care if they've messaged me about the product or not, or I mean, I don't care if they've only reached out to me about the product. I always give both options for a promoter and a customer, always. And I think that's what makes maybe my promoter ratio higher than my customer ratio, because it's the same price. If you bought the 3-step system, pretty much, it is the same price to be a customer as it is a promoter. And people, once they try it, they fall in love. And not just that, if you see yourself being able to make money, or our customers have the option of being able to get 2 customers through their customer link. They have their own customer link that they can share with friends and family. Even as a customer, they can earn free product. So every 2 customers on an auto ship, and I'll tell you how I keep my customers on an auto ship. I'll share like my secret on how I word it. But every 2 customers you get on an auto ship, you get free product credit. So what I do to make sure my customers are staying on auto ships, one, you get 20% off as a customer. When you have, sorry, I'm like blah blah blah, I can't talk right now. As a customer, you get 20% off your order when you set it up on an auto ship. So when you go to checkout, there's like the 1 and 1. I always tell them to leave it on. Usually I enroll everyone myself, majority of the time. So what I'll do is be like, okay, let's get you started. Here's what I need: your name, your billing info, your card info, your email and phone number, and the last 3 on the back of your card. Like what we need the expiration and the last 3 on the back. So I ask for all those. I assume the sale, and I am very blunt and bold and be like, and confident. And I say, okay, here's what I need. Shoot this over. And then they always shoot it over. They send me all that info. You'd be surprised how many people, will willingly give their, because you built that trust with them. So then they shoot that info, and then I go in and personally enroll them. So then I know for sure that I have that sale. I'm not waiting on somebody to give me to go enroll on my website. I'm telling, hey, okay, let me get you started. This is what I need. So I tell them, hey, it's the same price to be a customer as it is a promoter. So if you feel like you could make money from this, or you feel like 2 people that could benefit out of getting premium nutrition, or that are wanting to have more energy or whatever it may be, how about you just do as a promoter option? And here's what I'll need. If you feel like you rather just be a customer, then this is what I'll need. I'll need the exact same information. But regardless, you'll get free product if you have 2 of your family or friends wanting to experience the same thing. So that's usually what I do. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything in the chat when it comes to that. Now, the 20% off trick that I tell everyone to do, and it's something that I do, is when you do the enrollment for a customer, they're going to get that additional money off. If they keep it on till the 1st of the month, even if they say, and I have so many customers that end up telling me just leave it on because I fell in love with the product, so just leave it on. But what they do is I'll be like, hey, I'll set a reminder with all my other customers that I go, if that or wanting to turn it off on the 1st of every month. I go through and I'll set a reminder for the people that have left their auto ship on that 1 and off. So then they get the 20% off still. They're not required to order for a certain amount of time. They can order 1 month and be done and still get that 20% off, as long as it's kept on until the 1st. Then that counts towards your VIPs. Then that counts, and VIPs are really the only one, unless there's a bonus going towards it, that have a time limit. So I want to make sure you guys, because I have some of you that are have come from different marketing companies, some of you that are new to marketing, multi-level marketing and, this industry. Typically before, like there was a requirement that you had to do or something of that nature with hitting ranks. VIP 1600 and 18, or VIP 800 are within your first 2 weeks. So if one of your customers ordered a $400 pack right now, that's 800 in volume. You would already have hit your volume part for your VIPs. You need 1 more customer and 2 more promoters if you didn't have it, and then you would get a $400 bonus. Let's say you had 4 customers and 4 promoters sign up in your first 2 weeks, and you had 1,600 in volume, then you'll have another $400 bonus and 200 in product credit. So when it comes down to word choices and like perspective for VIPs, pretty much in my first 2 weeks, I messaged all my friends and family because it's more of a warm market. And since that one has the time period, I reached out to my warmer market to make sure that I was hitting my VIPs. So that was like one thing that I really did in my first 2 weeks was utilize my friends and family and say, and I have no problem asking like, hey, I just joined this, business, or hey, I just joined this, and I guarantee you if you try our products, even if it's a 3-day sample pack, you will literally like thank me later. And that's how I did my VIPs. I focused a lot on samples and letting people have that. And samples can be tricky for some people, and some people they're like their bread and butter. So don't feel bad if that's not your gig yet, but definitely like one thing I am doing is I focus on samples at the beginning and the end of the month. But when it comes down to samples, I'm explaining you get 9 products for the price of 3 days. So you literally get 9 full-size products for 3 days, and I'm doing them for 25. And free shipping. It's kind of like how you build that rapport and how you build those word choices for people to see the full benefit. It all comes down to the value that you really build in those conversations. Sorry, my phone keeps going off, you guys. Who has any questions? Does anyone? I don't know how you raise hands in here. I'm gonna unmute you guys really quick. Does anyone have any questions? So this is something I've been really looking into, you guys. I've been going through. What do you put in sample packs for your steps? Okay, 1 second. Okay, so Laura, what I do for the 3 steps, there's some really, really good info, you guys, and I really hope everyone is utilizing this. This is something I'm kind of like blunt with my team, but like there's so much good training videos on our Hustle page, on our LV page, and on our Team United pages that like literally any question you guys have, if you search it in one of those pages, you'll find. I don't know what is going on with my computer. Sorry. Like there's like all of our resources are at our fingertips. So make sure you're utilizing me if I'm your enroller, your upline, whoever your upline is, and then utilizing the chats and your tradings in the meantime too. But as far as sample packs, what I do, it just depends. So if I'm doing duos and black labels, I charge 30. I do 3 of the black labels, 3 of the duos, or not both, sorry. It depends on what they're choosing. So let's say they wanted just black label, then I do 3 of the black labels, 3 of the shakes, and 3 of the women's or men's capsules, depending on who is purchasing. And then it's literally just 1 product of each for 3 days. If it's just the premium DFTs, so the rose gold, the blues, the greens, your purples, then I'm doing just 25 for those. I feel like I'm getting all these messages, but they're not for our guys' team chat. Sorry. So I do those for 25. I also do custom. You guys can do honestly whatever makes sense for you. Like right now, I'm including protein bars or cafe in my sample packs too. It's just an extra benefit that I'm doing just because that's something I have a lot of that I want people to experience. And if you guys build value right now, all of our customers and promoters that sign up get $25. So you can't use the $25 on packs, but you can use that $25 on anything else. So the cool thing is, you guys, a pack of Pro bars, for example, like the cookies and cream and the lemon, those are like my 2 favorite. They're like $32, I think, when it comes down to before like shipping. When you get that $25, they end up being between 5 to 7, depending what flavor you go with. $5 to $7 for a box of 12 bars. So if you put that in perspective for someone and you cast that out and explain, like our Pro bars are probably the hands down the best protein bars I've ever tasted in my life. Like, and I've been in fitness for a little while, so it's something that I love. Those are amazing. Like our Balance, they're $40 normally. They're $15 right now. those balances, me and my boyfriend been taking them the last 2 days, and he's been calling me all day because he's like, I feel skinny, because he's like, it's working, like, in general. But I'm like, it's literally amazing, like, when you put things in like a perspective way or word choice way, how much you guys can maximize the value on it. But when I'm talking to people, I'm not scared to start focusing on the $300 or the $400 pack first. And I build value in it. I just explain, like, hey, you get 3 months worth of products for literally like the price of one. I think it ends up being like 2 months. And then you get your DFTs, you get 10% off codes, 10 free shipping codes. And I regret not doing the $800 pack when I started. I know some of us literally cannot afford it, and I totally understand, because that's why we start this business. That was me. I couldn't afford it, so I didn't do it. But I know if I would have sold some stuff on OfferUp, or sold some stuff like on Facebook Marketplace, or, you know, did whatever I needed to do to come up with the money, I could have. And I regret not doing it, because you get double commission on those. So people that are making like $400 to $500 check every week, they could be making $1,000 a week. And that's only for your first 60 days that you get that $800 pack, and it gives you those like extra percentages there. So if you have, I build value upon that too. But you guys, the bridge that I know that a lot of you guys ask is like, what gets you your customers without cold messaging, or what gets you your, you know, people attracted to your, you know, profile, things like that. I'm gonna yell at my son because I need my computer charger. So 1 second. Kingston, can you grab my computer charger, please? Thank you. Sorry. But my thing, you guys, I want you to remove any type of stress that you guys may get. I know some people have expressed, like, in the past, or, you know, expressed like, oh, this, you know, this can get stressful. And that's because you're allowing it to get stressful. It is not supposed to be. I was working 16 hours a day, being a mom full time, going to school when I first started this business. And of course it would get stressful, but it comes down to my mindset. And I'm realizing this is going to bridge a gap to allow me to have a weekly residual income that can literally change my life. Now I don't have to work, and it takes time, and it takes consistency, and I realize it is a business. It's not a microwave. If you're wanting microwave money, then those results aren't going to last. And that's what I always tell people. Consistency is key. So when I see people, and I get life happens, believe me, I totally get it. I had surgery and I didn't post for a day. But the next day I posted one time. I made sure people knew what I was going through, and I was open and honest with my life, and told people, you know, hey, I'm going through this right now, but I'm here to
Hey, I think we lost you. I can't hear you. No. Oh, wait, maybe.
What about now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Wonder if I was covering the little microphone.
Maybe, because it keeps out.
Okay. I don't know what I was saying last, but pretty much just in general, like, you guys, I want you guys to look at your profile after we're done, and I want you to look at it. And this is, I know it sounds so cheesy, and I know people don't get it at first, and they're like, I don't want to be a sales ad. I don't want to post all day. I don't want to be annoying. And one, I've never asked you guys to be a sales ad. Two, you're not going to be annoying. People's opinions don't pay your bills. And when you really listen to me and be consistent, I guarantee you, and you utilize the tools that we have, I guarantee you a business will start launching the way it needs to. But you work in a business that is networking, and so what that means is you're networking with people and you're building relationships with people. So first and foremost, you're not going to have people. I have 10 minutes, which is good. You're not going to have people wanting to come to you if you're not building any type of relationship with them. Like, you're not going to have people viewing your profile and viewing your post and interacting on your post if you're not interacting with people. So what I do in the morning, these are my like 3 things I do on a daily, hands down on a daily. I do self-development every morning, and this past week I've been really lazy with it because of just my emotional state's been up and down. And the days that I didn't do it, I see such a huge difference in my business. I see such a huge difference in my life. But I pour into myself, and it could be a podcast, it could be a book, it could be an Audible, it could be, I don't care, 10 minutes, even a day. Do something that's going to pour into your mind and your heart. Like, hands down, before anything, before you touch that phone. I mean, if you have to get to the podcast on your phone, that's cool, but do something to pour in yourself. Because if you don't pour into yourself, you can't pour into others. And it won't help your mindset. So I pour into myself on a daily. And from there, I go, before I'm going in our chat and looking at who's reached out to me, before I go into my messages and look who's been reaching out to me or what you guys need help with, before I even look at that, I'm going through on my Facebook, I'm going through and I'm liking and commenting on people's posts. I am building relationship with people. I'm going through and actually having more than just like, sometimes I'll do it, but I usually try to have it like at least a sentence or 2 when I'm commenting people and interacting, because that helps boost your algorithms on your Facebook. It helps your profile be moved to the top for other people's profiles that are viewing it. It helps your stuff be seen first. The more you're interacting with people, the more you're building relationships with people, the more you're commenting and carrying conversations or liking and whatever it may be, the more your name and your face is going to be shown on Facebook in general. All my posts are public. And that's just for interaction. I know it's scary stepping outside your comfort zone, or some of you guys are really private. That's fine. But find what works for you. But you do need to be you on your profile. You need to represent you on your profile, because people aren't going to want to turn to and trust you to change their life if they don't even know who you are. So that's really, really key, is that in general. And if you guys have people on your team, I know that some of you guys are new and don't have a team, or if you have people that are, on your team and they're not doing what what you taught them, or if they're not utilizing their resources and you've tried, do not keep reaching out to them. If they have the same resources we all have, the same resources that I have, if they want this bad enough, they'll work for it. And that's something that you don't exhaust yourself on the people underneath you that aren't putting in the work, because we all are capable of the same thing. It comes down to your work ethic, your mindset, and making it fun and realizing what this really can do for you. So I go on my post. I know posting is hard sometimes to come up with ideas or what to say. I get that. I go through on Katie, the people that I look up to and how I want to be. For example, more inspirational or more, whatever, more nice. Sometimes I come off harsh and I don't mean to, but whatever it may be, I go through and look at their posts and I get inspiration from their post. Even if I take a sentence out of their post and put it on my notes, I go in on my notes on my phone even, and I'll save posts and get inspirations from that. I go in and let's say Katie had a cool post that I liked, I'll copy and paste it onto my notes and I'll reword the whole thing, but represents me. You know what I mean? So then I'm still getting inspiration there. And I don't talk about just the business and the products all the time. Lately I've been posting a little bit more about sample packs and stuff. Excuse me. But I post about how cool, this is my office view and it's a Monday morning. And I know that's not capable for everyone, so I get that. Technically, I totally get that. But even when I was working, I was still working the business. So I get some of us can't be on the phone and stuff during the day, and I get that. But the times you do, then do a power hour. If you don't have the time to be on the phone because you're working, do a power hour when you get home, or get up an hour earlier, go to bed an hour later, and just start interacting and building those relationships, and at least utilizing your resources and your time, because we all are busy And so being busy doesn't mean that you can't be consistent. And I start like posting about what represents me. I post my like goals. I'll go and do lives. Lives were so uncomfortable for me at the beginning, and I now I just don't even care what I look like, and I'll go live. But I post about like the one I did today. I have so many people messaging me just from me going live and explaining the products. And if you're new and you don't know a whole lot about that, utilize me. Go live and interview me. Ask if you can do a live with me, and you can and like say, hey, I want to utilize my leader. This is her journey, and or here she wants to explain the products for you guys so you guys can understand what I have my hands on and how amazing it is. Or even a simple, like, for example, there's people that were drinking like Red Bulls and coffee and all this crazy stuff before starting, our products. Be like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm no longer running, slowly walking to my Keurig, but it's been 100 days or 50 days or 20 days or 15 days, whatever, that I haven't had coffee. Like, those things people like understand, because we all get up and we all used to run on coffee at one point. So those are things that I always like to, short, simple post, even, things like that represent your life. And edit your post, you guys. Edit, and I don't mean your post, but your pictures. Don't just post a picture and it's blurry, or it's not good quality, or it's not like edited a little bit where it's brighter and crisper. Like, we live in a very visual society, unfortunately, and I'm not saying everything has to be like perfect, but I'm just saying, like, if you go in and you look at your like, is it eye-catching? Like, even if you brighten it up a little bit and crisp it up a little bit, it will make it more vivid and more like eye-catching to the person. Within your first 5 seconds, people will stop scrolling because they want to see what this picture is. Or, you know what I mean? Like, those are some really good tips and some really good things that I have done my whole time. And I restarted doing network marketing just 4 months ago. I was in it for 2 years, and I was top 3% of my company prior, but it was a completely different, like, it was so completely different than how our business is now. So it took a lot of rewiring for me to finally understand how to do and not do. And don't feel like just because it's uncomfortable you can't do it. Don't feel like if it's hard for you guys you can't reach out to me. There's no dumb question. There's no like right or wrong. I'm just here to help you grow and fail your way to success, because that's what it comes down to. So don't be so hard on yourself. Like, there is no wrong or right way of doing this business, but it comes down to your passion, utilizing our leadership, because we're like, I've never been about a part of a team that's so encouraging and so uplifting and so wants everyone to succeed. So utilize us, utilize the resources. The more you ask, the more you'll grow. And so that is we have less than a minute. So yeah, as far as pictures standing out, I'll answer that really quick because it was sent to me privately. But I take multiple pictures. Like, Megan did a training the other day on Saturday, but I take multiple pictures. Like, I'll prop it on something and I'll go like and pose and whatever. I don't really pose all crazy like that, but I pose and do all kinds of stuff like that until I find at least 2 pictures I like. I'll go through and keep those 2 pictures and edit them, and so that they're ready for a couple days later or a day later. Or I'll just take pictures of random things throughout my whole entire day and use them at a later time. I'll take pictures of the products and make them look propped up against a cute little like flower or whatever, maybe a succulent. I like love cactus and succulents. Or I'll do it where it stands out like a background, vivid, and I'll just take a bunch of pictures and edit the ones I like and keep them for future purposes. You don't have to make it hard and take 1,000 pictures a day. You can literally use them down the road. And then I put in the chat like a few times the different apps I use. PicTapGo is definitely my favorite. Beauty Plus, PicArt, all those. But those are something you guys, if you have questions or you want me to look over your post before, or you need help in a conversation, just group message me if you need help sealing the deal. Or if you need me to look over a post, reach out to me. Like, and if you're a leader, teach your team to do the same thing. So I know this has kind of been like all over the place, like all my Zooms usually, but I just like to touch base, and like always, social media is like the biggest one. It really, really is. you're a networking company, and if you're not posting, it's like your closed sign is on instead of your open door sign is on. So instead of it showing open, you're showing